How's everybody doing today? My name is Jordan, otherwise known as J Fries, and I'd like to thank you all for coming out and joining me in my very first video in a series I'm going to call Tapped in a Closet, where I'm going to play various magic decks while I'm stuck in this closet. So without further ado, let's get on to the first deck. Alright, here we go. The deck I'm going to be playing today is called Izzet Breach. Now, Izzet is the colors of red and blue, and this is a historic combo deck. So, how this deck works, let me go ahead and get some of these things moved around here. Alright, give me just a moment because it's going to sound like it's really complicated, but it's not whenever it gets going. So in order for this combo to work, you need 2 Mox Ambers, 2 Diligent Excavators, an Underworld Breach, and an Emry Lurker of the Loch. Or a Saheeli Sublime Artificer. Either one of these would work. So the reason that you need these 2 guys is because Mox Amber is a 0-cost artifact that states you can tap it to add 1 mana of any legendary creature or planeswalker that you have. So you just need one of those 2 in play for it to be able to tap for mana. Now you need 2 of these. It can be anywhere. They can be in your graveyard, in your hand, on the battlefield. You need 2 Diligent Excavators on the battlefield. And then you have Underworld Breach. Now let me go ahead and go through these real quick. Diligent Excavator says whenever you cast a historic spell, which is a artifact, legendary spell, or a saga, it says that target player mills 2. So you're always going to be choosing yourself. A mill just means you take the top 2 cards of your deck and you put them into your graveyard. So every time you play an artifact, you're going to be milling yourself for 2 cards. If you have 2 of these in play, you're going to be milling yourself for 4 cards. Now, Underworld Breach says each non-land card in your graveyard has escape, which means that you can play it from your graveyard. The escape cost is equal to the card's mana, plus you have to exile 3 cards from your graveyard. And at the beginning of your end step, you got to sacrifice it. So, Underworld Breach, you have 1 turn to pull this off, but usually that's all that you need. So, you have Diligent Excavators in play, Underworld Breach, you play the card, you get access to your entire graveyard. So, then you have, like I said, Emry or Saheeli in play, and you play a Mox Amber from your graveyard. So, what that happens is, it triggers your Diligent Excavators to where they mill you for 4 cards. Your Mox Amber's in play, you tap it for mana. You then play your second Mox Amber from your graveyard, exiling 3 cards. Well, when it comes into play, you sacrifice the old one, keeping the new one because they are legendary. And then Diligent Excavator will mill you for 4 cards. So what this does is every time you make this little rotation, you're going to get 1 extra card in your graveyard, and you're going to get 1 extra mana. So you just keep doing this over and over again. You're going to mill out your entire deck, which normally is a bad thing, except you have this little guy over here, Thassa's Oracle. This is the win condition of the deck. So you play those cards, you mill out your entire deck, you then have Thassa's Oracle inside your graveyard. You can play it because of all the extra mana you've gotten off of your Moxes. And Thassa's Oracle says, when it enters the battlefield, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is your devotion to blue. And devotion to blue is the little blue pips you see up in the upper right corner. Is like the actual symbols, is whatever your devotion is. So Thassa's Oracle gives you 2 devotion to blue. But let me go back. You look at the top X cards of your library, where X is your devotion to blue. Put 1 of them on top of your library and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Doesn't seem great, but the next part is what makes this card awesome. If X is greater than or equal to the number of cards in your library, you win the game. So, go back to what I was just saying about the combo. You keep looping your Moxes, your Diligent Excavators keeps milling you over and over again. You then play Thassa's Oracle, and you win the game. Now, it sounds like it's really complicated, but it's not. Mainly because Underworld Breach lets you replay cards from your graveyard. So, you can just play out your cards. If they die, get destroyed. it doesn't really matter because you wait till you have a turn where your opponent is completely tapped out, and you play Underworld Breach. You start playing your Diligent Excavators from your graveyard. You start looping your Mox Ambers to get extra mana, and you can just go off out of nowhere. So all you need is this one card in hand, and the rest of the cards just somewhere. In your graveyard, in the battlefield, in your hand, and this deck can go off. Now, the rest of the cards inside this deck are 2 Tormod's Crypts, and the main reason this is in the deck is because it also kind of combos off, but it doesn't give you any extra mana. So it's a 0-cost artifact like the Mox, and you can tap it, sacrifice it, exile cards from a target player's graveyard. So you play it. If you got your excavators in play, they'll mill you. You tap it, sacrifice it, exile your opponent's graveyard. You can then replay it, milling yourself or more. So with just one of these and your 2 Diligent Excavators, you can mill your entire deck to eventually you can find your Mox Ambers and start getting a bunch of mana off of it. You also have 4 ops, just looking for extra cards. It's 1 blue, scry 1, draw a card. Chromatic Sphere. It's a 1-cost artifact. 1, tap it, sacrifice it, and you get to add 1 mana of any color, and you get to draw a card. So it kind of cycles your mana to make sure you have red for Underworld Breach, but also it can kind of draw you cards. It's cheap, so you can play it later on from a graveyard just to kind of get things going. 4 Shimmering Possibilities. It's a 2-mana sorcery. Lets you look at the top 4 cards of your deck. You put 1 of them in your hand, the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. So just kind of help you find all your combo pieces. You have 4 Mind Stones. So it's just a 2-mana artifact that can tap for 1 colorless mana. So it kind of rams you a little bit to help you into those big turns. But also 1, tap it, sack it, draw a card. So if you notice, there's a theme here. Draw a card, draw a card, draw a card. And so everything in here is just about cycling through your deck until you can eventually pull off your combo. I've played a couple games of it beforehand, and it's pretty good. As far as the lands, I just got 8 dual lands, 10 islands, and 4 Lonely Sandbars. Lonely Sandbar is a neat little land. It enters the battlefield tapped. It taps for a blue. But for a blue mana, you can cycle it, which means you toss into your graveyard, and you can draw another card. So once again, more card draw. So that's pretty much the deck. Oh, I did forget to explain these 2 guys. Saheeli Sublime Artificer. 1 and either 2 blue, 2 red, or a red and a blue. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a 1/1 servo artifact creature token. And target artifact you control becomes copy of another target artifact or creature you control to the end of the turn, except it's an artifact. Pretty much all this is doing is you can minus her to turn one of your artifacts into another Mox Amber so you can get extra mana. Also, it's kind of like a alternate win con, and that if you can just play a bunch of your artifacts, looping them over and over again, if your opponent really can't do anything, you can make enough artifacts to just kill your opponent. But that's, like I said, that's kind of a plan B. And then Emry over here, it's 2 and a blue. She's a 1/2 legendary creature. It says the spell costs 1 less for each artifact that you control. So a lot of times you can just play her for 1 blue. Whenever she enters the battlefield, you mill 4 cards. So once again, getting more cards in your graveyard, you can cast off Underworld Breach. You can look for your combo faster. Then you can tap her, choose target artifact in your graveyard, and you can cast it this turn. So you can use it early in the game to replay your spheres and your Mind Stones to try to draw you extra cards. If you really need a Mox Amber for some extra mana, she can do that as well to kind of help you combo off. And just little things like that. It's a really neat card. I don't have a sideboard yet. Haven't started working on it. So we're just going to be playing some best of 1 today. And let's go ahead and get into the games. Alright. I'd like to thank you guys for coming out with me today, checking this video out. And on to our first match. Let's see, it's a pretty good hand. We already got 2 of our combo pieces, got a card that can draw us other stuff, and we got a backup combo piece in case we lose the first one. So I'm going to hold on to the sphere. So I can play the Diligent Excavator next turn. And then go Sphere, Sphere to mill myself 4 cards, trying to look for my combo. Okay. Alright, change of plan. We're going to play Mind Stone into a Chromatic Sphere. Mill myself for 2 more. And then I'm going to play an Emry because she only costs 1 blue because I have 2 artifacts. Alright. So, if you look at my graveyard, I already have a Mox Amber, a second Diligent Excavator. So I'm all set up. All I need is another Underworld Breach. So, let's go ahead and start by making some red mana with this card. Drawing. Okay, nothing yet. Let's go ahead and play Saheeli. Mill myself for 2 more. Just trying to get some blockers out here. I play another Mind Stone. Play a Sphere. Alright. Now, let's tap Emry. Play this Mox Amber. Tap this. Doesn't matter, because I'm going to cycle it through here to get a blue. And look, there's my Underworld Breach. Saheeli will now turn this Mind Stone into a Mox Amber. Oh, except it's tapped. Didn't think about that. I should have targeted one of these servos up here. Alright, I'm gonna keep this Mox Amber instead. Well. I messed up there. That's fine. As long as I don't lose this turn, I can combo off next turn. Okay, Sulfur Falls. So, let's start off with an Underworld Breach. Looks like my opponent knows what this deck does. Alright. Well, pretty quick game 1. Let's move on to the next one. So as you can see, this deck is real good at just cycling through until it can finally find its combo pieces. I will say, though, that was also a very good hand that I was able to keep. Alright. Game number 2. So, got a couple of Spheres, a Mind Stone, Shimmer of Possibility. None of my combo pieces, but I got a lot of cyclers. I think I'll keep this. Alright. Go ahead and play a Sphere out. Go ahead and play a Mind Stone into my other Sphere. And the next turn I can double Shimmer of Possibilities. Let's go ahead and get to Emry, because she's going to mill me. Alright, there's my 2 excavators in the graveyard. Let's go ahead and start cycling through these. Make a blue. Make a blue. Nothing. Okay. Now next turn I can still go double shimmer to try and find my Underworld Breach. Alright, no blocks. There it is. Okay, now I gotta see if I have enough mana to pull all this off. Do I have... Okay, I don't have any of my Moxes. So I think I need to take one more turn trying to set this up. I'll take the other Emry here. Another Shimmer. Take an Underworld Breach just as backup in case my opponent has some type of discard spell. All right. Let's go ahead and put one of these in play. See what my opponent can do here. Alright, another sphere. So let's go ahead and crack this for a blue. Just looking for those. Will that do the trick? See, that'll get me one of my Diligent Excavators out of here. So let's exile the land, one of my Shimmer of Possibilities. I messed up. I should have Tormod's Crypt after I played my Diligent Excavator. So let's go ahead and play this. There's another Emry. Let's go ahead and tap her. Allow me to play this without escaping it. Just trying to find one of those Moxes now. Alright, exile Sphere, another Emry, and a land. Actually, instead of this Emry, let's do this land here. There we go. Where are those Moxes at? Alright, Shimmer, land, and one of my spheres. Let's keep going, trying to find one of those Moxes. I need to find one quickly before I run out of cards in my graveyard. Still nothing. Alright, let's try it one more time. Let's go land, one of my excavators, and a sphere. Actually, let's go with the Shimmer of Possibility. There's that Mox Opal. Okay, now the question is, do I have enough to do that? Oh, okay. My opponent's going to go ahead and concede. I actually don't think that I had him dead, because I was a couple cards short of my graveyard from being able to play the Mox 2 more times. But, alright. I'll take it. So, like I said, some of the lines with this deck are a little complicated, but once you get the hang of it, it's really just trying to get out those Diligent Excavators and then chaining artifacts to mill yourself, finding one of your breaches. This might be a mulligan. I don't have any of my combo pieces. I have a sphere and a mind stone. I'm going to try mulliganing. This is much better. Let's put back this Shimmer. Alright, turn 1 sphere. And my opponent is playing something green and black. Oh no! Discard. My worst enemy. See what they make me discard here. Yeah, I figured it was going to be the Breach. Alright. So, I can play out Emry and the Mox Amber. I might go ahead and do that. And then I can use Mox Amber and the Island to cast my Shimmer to try to find another Underworld Breach. Let me see. I think I already have 2. Yeah, I have 2 Mox Amber, so I don't need one of those. I might just get the Lonely Sandbar just to cycle. See what my opponent has here. Pyrexene Arena. Let's go ahead with another Shimmer. Go ahead and take a Diligent Excavator, I guess. Tap this. Tap Emry. So I can replay this other Mox. Tap this for a blue to play my Diligent Excavator. Play this land out tapped. And now I just need to find a Underworld Breach. See, one thing I like about this deck is just everything kind of flows together, and everything would just help out the other pieces. Okay, so let's go ahead and crack this looking for a red. Sometimes it's better to be lucky than good. Go ahead and cast Underworld Breach. Alright, go ahead and tap this for blue. I'm going to tap... Actually, let me go ahead and play this Tormod Crypt. Targeting myself. I need to find another Diligent Excavator as soon as I can. Tap Emry, targeting my Mox. So I can go ahead and play this, mill myself 2 more. There's the other Excavator I was needing. And I'm going to get rid of land, Chromatic Sphere, opt. And there we go. Now tap this for blue. And I just cycle through my lands. Or cycle through my Moxes. For exiling 3 cards. The Diligent Excavators will both put 4 cards into my graveyard. So I'm slowly filling up my graveyard. Gaining more mana. and milling myself out until I can eventually find Thassa's Oracle. The only thing that I question is if my opponent has something that can, at instant speed, remove something from my graveyard. Well, I'll go ahead and tap that for mana. 1, 2, 3. Save this one. Let's go ahead and cast the Saheeli just in case. Saheeli, land, opt. One, two, three. Like I said, now, I just cycle through them to keep going. Let's see, I'm up to 5 devotion. That'll be 7, so I just need to get down to 6 cards in my graveyard. Alright, 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. Keep this one. And now cast Thassa's Oracle. Going 1, 2, 3. Exile the lands. And there we go. Glad my opponent actually let me play that one out so you guys can actually see how the combo works. Like I said, a little bit scary there because there is a 1-mana instant that can exile a card from your graveyard. That's why I've been thinking about playing 2 Thassa's Oracles instead of just 1. Let me see real quick if I could maybe get rid of one of the Shimmer of Possibilities for a second Oracle. I think I'll keep it like it is. Just keep playing a couple games. Alright, so far that's 3-0. Like I said, I was a little worried that game because this deck completely folds to any type of interaction. So, counter spell, discard spells. I don't have an untapped land, but other than that, this is a good one. I'm going to try this. I'm going to be a little bit behind, but I think it'll be okay. Let's go ahead and opt, looking for another land. Another excavator. I do need 2 excavators. So let's go ahead and play this tapped. Okay. So let's Shimmer, maybe? I just need mana and I need a breach. Let me go ahead and Shimmer, looking for more lands or breach. Go ahead and take steam vents here. I'm going to go ahead and just play it tap, save myself some life. Alright, see what my opponent can play here. Tempered Steel. Alright, so I am on a clock now. Very fast clock. So, I can go Excavator into Shimmer of Possibility. Still no breach. Alright, guess I'm gonna take the land. Maybe I should have took the Saheeli there so I could turn on these Mox Ambers. Glass Casket, that's fine. My opponent might just be a little bit too fast for me this game. That is what it appears is going to happen. Alright, let's crack this for a red. Crack this for a blue. Still nothing. And there it is, that deep into it. Alright, well that's game. Sometimes the deck just doesn't get what it needs and you get beat down. Yeah, I think at any point there, if I would have drawn an Underworld Breach, I could have been in pretty good position. So my opponent had a pretty fast clock on me there, and I did have a pretty slow start. 2 tapped lands into not finding my main combo piece for a couple turns. Alright. I like this. I don't have any of my Moxes or Excavators, but opt, Shimmer of Possibility, 2 legendary creatures, and my Underworld Breach. I think that's good enough to keep. Let's go ahead and opt here. I think we'll go ahead and keep that. Just get as much land as I can. Alright. Go ahead and Shimmer. I guess Shimmer for another Shimmer. See what my opponent has going on here. Alright, we're playing up against Goblins. Alright, this deck can come out of nowhere and kill you, so I'm going to have to find my pieces very fast. Maybe I should have, oh, there's one of my Moxes. Okay, so let's go ahead and play the Mox. I can play Emry. Milling myself for 4. There's my other Mox that I need. Pay 2 for Shimmer. Now I just need my Diligent Excavators. Do I have another Mox in the graveyard? I do. So I don't need another Mox. I could go another Emry just looking for my Excavators. Trying to get one into my graveyard. Alright, if I can pull the right cards off, then I can win. Either next turn or the turn after. Alright, no blocks. I have Mind Stone. Not necessarily what I'm wanting. Okay, so let's see here. Tap the Mox. Let's go ahead and play the Mind Stone. Tap Emry to get my other Mox. Play it. Keeping this one. I'll then play this Emry. Still nothing. Alright, play another Emry. Well. I'm halfway through my deck and haven't found one Diligent Excavator. Let's go ahead and end my turn here, I guess. Hopefully I'm just not dead. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm gonna have to block my opponent here, or I am dead. I might just not have a way to finish this game off. I can at least attempt to make some blockers. So, let's go ahead and cast an Underworld Breach. Get rid of some of these lands in here. Alright, let's tap for a blue. Let's play... Let's go ahead and get a little bit of mana built up first before I start playing out some other cards. Alright, go ahead and play Emry. Come on, where are my excavators at? Still no excavators. So Saheeli, Shimmering, 1 Emry. Shimmer of Possibilities. There's one of my excavators. Now the question is, do I have enough in here to get it to work? Don't believe I do. Got a blue. Target one of these guys. Target this. Keep the token. Have the token for blue. Play the Diligent Excavator. Yes. So you hope to get lucky. Mill another Mox. Nope. No such luck. Another Mox on top. No, there's my other excavator. Well, alright. I still have another Mox in my deck. That's going to be a lot of guys. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I have exactly 9. Alright. Let's see if I can make it through this go-around. Alright. Do you have a way to kill off my excavator? It does not. Alright. Diligent Excavator. Tap this for a blue. Okay, so crack this. I don't find it. Alright. Well. Alright. Still 3-2. Not too bad. Spun wheels a bunch on that one. Just couldn't find what I needed. If I could have found one of those Diligent Excavators just a little bit sooner, then that one would have been a win. Yeah, I just ran out of cards and I had to exile my other Mox. I just couldn't get anything going after that. Pretty good. I'll keep this. So turn 1 Sphere, turn 2 Mox into Emry. I have 2 mana to play something after that. My opponent is mulliganing. They're thinking about it. There we go. Alright. Island, Sphere, go. Alright, so I'm going to play my Amber. Play Emry. I'm going to play Shimmer. I guess just pick up another Shimmer. Right now I'm just looking for my excavators. I have everything else that I need. Let's see if my opponent has a discard spell or a kill spell for Emry. Oh, looks like we might be playing a mirror match here. So let's go ahead and Shimmer. Nothing again. Alright. Go ahead and pick up a Mind Stone. And tap Emry so I can replay my Sphere from the graveyard. And then hopefully next turn I can go off before my opponent does. So I take it back. This is not a mirror. This isn't Underworld Breach. This is a Kethis deck. So it's kind of the same combo. It just has different enablers. So instead of Underworld Breach bringing cards back, it's a card called Kethis, which lets you replay legendary cards from your graveyard. So it doesn't let you replay your Diligent Excavators or things like that, but you can replay your Mox Ambers, your Emrys. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with an Opt. There's one of my excavators. The question is, do I think I can go off? pretty sure that's a yes right there. Alright, all I need is another one of my Diligent Excavators. Cycle this for blue. Play my land for turn. Cycle this for blue. There's another Emry. Before I do that, let's tap Emry, bringing back one of my Mox Ambers. Mill myself some more. Just looking for one of those Diligent Excavators. Alright, now I do have plenty of cards in my graveyard, so I think I'm going to try to go off this turn. So, Underworld Breach. Woo, that's loud. Play my Amber. Exiling lands. Alright. Go ahead and recast the other one. There's Shimmer, Opt, and a Sphere. Mill myself for 2. Land, Mind Stone, land. Let's go and cast a Shimmer of Possibility, trying to find the other excavator. There it is. Alright, and that's going to be game. Because now I can just keep recasting my Mox Ambers, exiling cards as long as it's not one of my Mox Opals. Exile 3 cards, put 4 cards into my graveyard for the next go around. Tap for some blue mana. Alright, and now we just keep doing this loop. Keeps going around and round. Alright. We got 9 more, so just a couple more goes. Oh, forgot to tap that one for mana. I don't think it's going to matter really. And there's my Oracle. And if you look, 1 card left in my graveyard. There we go. Alright, I think I got about 1 more game in me before calling it. Alright, but as y'all can see, this deck can come out of nowhere. It reminds me a lot of, if anybody's played Modern before, it reminds me a lot of Storm from Modern. And just the fact that you're kind of building your graveyard, you know, sculpting your hand, getting things going, and then just waiting for that perfect moment that your opponent taps out or doesn't have enough mana to really interact, and you just combo off and you just kill your opponent out of nowhere. Alright, I think I'll keep this. I got 2 breaches in case my opponent is discarding. 2 shimmers and an opt to find the pieces that I need. I think that's pretty decent. way to my opponent. I do need the extra land. But I'm going to go ahead and bottom it here, just trying to find... Oh, another land. Alright. Shimmer. Let me get one of my excavators, maybe? Or maybe Emry. Let's get one of my excavators. I think they'll be able to help me fuel my graveyard better than what Emry would be. Alright, let's go ahead and play an excavator into a sphere. Alright, there's a 0-cost artifact. So if I can find another excavator, I could go off. See what my opponent does here. 3 red lands and not... Oh, okay. Well then. Alright, 2 Mox Ambers. I guess let me try and find an Emry to activate these Mox Ambers. I guess I could just take a Saheeli. She also does it, just not this turn. Still no. Alright, let me try to find a land here. Alright, I do get that. I could Underworld Breach. But what am I doing if I do that? Not really a lot. I think I can wait here. Oh wait, I can't Underworld Breach because it's untap for mana. Forget about that. Alright, see what my opponent does. I don't think I'm going to die anytime soon. But then again, goblins can kind of kill you out of nowhere, so... See what they got this turn. Another War Chief. So they can play a 4-drop. And a Chieftain, okay. So they're swinging for 8. So I might be dead if I can't kill him next turn. A Mind Stone. Well... There's an Emry. And there's Mother Diligent Excavator. Alright, so I got this. So, play my Mox Amber. Mill myself for 2. Keep my Mox Amber. Play Underworld Breach. Play my Mox Amber from the graveyard. Exiling 1, 2, 3. Mill myself for 2. Tap for a blue. Play my next Mox. Mill myself for 2. Keep this Mox. Play my Diligent Excavator. So 1, 2, 3. Alright. And now I'll be refilling my graveyard faster than when it's emptying. My opponent is tapped out, so they can't do anything. So I just gotta go through the motions. Round and around it goes. I know for a lot of people this particular part of it is not exciting. And this is the main reason I don't play these type of decks in person. Is because I know if I was on the other side of the board, this part is just aggravating. You're just sitting there, not doing anything while your opponent's just comboing off. But on Arena, I don't have to see my opponent, so I don't mind it at all. Is that I really do enjoy this play pattern of decks. Back in the day, my favorite deck used to be Splinter Twin, which was kind of just like this tempo control deck that had a combo in it that could kill you out of nowhere. But if you didn't, if you respected the combo and you kind of held up mana for it, it could just play a fair game and just beat you through tempoing you out. And it's kind of just, as I was saying, it's just kind of like another type of combo deck. One more go around. 1, 2, 3. Make sure not to exile the Oracle. That would be awful. I forgot to tap that for mana again. Alright. 1, 2, and 3. There we go. Alright, well, that was the deck. Let me get back to it real quick. Alright, go ahead and let y'all look at the deck one more time before I switch over. Alright. Back over into my closet. So, once again, that was Izzet Breach. If you guys are wanting to get into Historic and you like playing combo decks like Storm, then I highly suggest giving this deck a try. I was a little bit wrong earlier. It's not like Twin. Twin is definitely a tempo deck with a combo finish, where this is more like Storm. It's just straight up a combo deck. You're just sitting there, biding your time, sculpting your hand, building your resources, taking damage, and then you're just waiting for that opportune moment when your opponent taps out, they can't interact, and you just combo out of nowhere and kill them. So if you like playing decks like that, like Storm, then I suggest giving this deck a try. Another reason is because I feel it's good against Goblins, and Goblins is one of the most played decks right now. It's a very good deck to play, and I feel that Izzet Breach kind of has some game against it. Mainly because Goblins doesn't play interaction in the main board. So you don't have to be afraid about your opponent, killing off your creatures and at the inopportune time for you, and you can just focus solely on surviving and comboing them off as quickly as possible. So, once again, I'd like to thank you all for coming out and joining me for my very first episode of Tapped in a Closet. If you guys haven't yet, I do have some other social media sites that y'all can check out. I'm on Twitter, Facebook, and Twitch. Go on over there, give me some likes, subscribe, shares, all that good stuff. And thank y'all for coming out, and have a good night. Bye.